You talk about how when you first got out to Nashville, you literally went to a restaurant that you worked at in Atlanta, and you went there in uniform and was like, "Can I work?" And they were like, "Can you work like right now?" And you were like, "Table five." Like,
That's right.
so that kind of action though, like people that I talk to on a daily basis would normally be like, "Well, I can't go there, and if I show up here," and they worry about, but do you just go for it? And so I'm always interested in people that take action. Has that always been something that you've been somebody who just goes, I'm just going to go do that without overthinking it or second guessing it? Or did that come from past experiences or maybe somebody that kind of taught you to grab life like that?
Past experiences, man. One of the things that I often think about is when I was in high school, I went to Poly Prep in Brooklyn, New York, and we had a great wrestling team. It was like a dynasty. And my junior year, on paper, I should have been a state champion. I should have had this great season. But my coach he used to call me a big baby, and he was just like, you're just a big baby, and I would get in my head and all this other kind of stuff, and I ended up performing so poorly during my junior year that my coach made me do a wrestle off with a guy who was a senior, a guy named Chip Top, and like by all like on paper, I guess like maybe I should have won. But like I was not as hungry for the opportunity as Chip was, and Chip beat the crap out of me in that wrestle off, and he ended up rightfully earning his spot to go to the Ivies and go to the States that year, and I had to like sit back and watch, you know what I mean? And that was this moment where I sort of realized when opportunities present themselves, be decisive, right? Either you want it or you don't. It's okay to not want it, but just hanging out in the middle is no place to be, right? Now, when I got to Nashville, I was pretty desperate. I arrived there. I had one kid, another on the way, and I needed a job. So there's no question that opportunity I absolutely needed. And, I wanted to make sure that they understood that I didn't want to leave and then somebody else get that opportunity, right? So it was like I needed to close the deal right then and there. And the fastest way to close the deal was to go back out to the car and, tell the baby mama, go find some place for us to live. I'm working. You know what I mean? I'll get some money. So yeah, I think that a lot of people are looking for permission. School kind of trains us, don't speak until you're told, raise your hand when you're selected. I think we've largely been trained and, accustomed to the need for permission for things. And entrepreneurship is about anything but that, right? It's about seeing opportunity and saying, why not me? And then going after it, not just because you want it, but also with a little bit of paranoia that if you don't get to it, somebody else who wants it real bad is going to get to it. You know what I mean? And I've been doing this entrepreneurship so long that it's just literally now in my bones. Like that mind state is just the way I operate now.